too. And he was saying some fun stuff with laughter is the best medicine.
My grandparents on my mother's side were both professional singers, and I never knew my grandmother. She died before I was born. My grandfather died when I was 10, and I don't think I knew he was a singer. I think I found that out later. My mother and her sister were models and dancers and showgirls, so it's a little different there. They couldn't sing. I think I always wanted to be a singer, like say from the age of 10 anyway.
I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. La, la, la.
When I was about 17, I was out to dinner with my parents, and my father asked, there was a piano, if there was anyone working there, and there wasn't. So the maitre d' invites me to sit, and so I got the job. I have to admit, it was his idea for the job. It was my idea, however, to take the piano lessons. Actually, I always wanted to be an actor before I found out I could sing. So I always had the love of theater anyway. And it's just evolved now that music's been added.
Try to think that love's not around. Still it's incomparably clear. My poor heart ain't getting any ground, 'cause my angel ain't here.
Now for inspiration, I would say influence more than inspiration perhaps. With the more cabaret kind of songs, I was fortunate enough to get to know and be befriended by Mabel Mercer and Greta Keller, each of whom came in to see me actually on my first job in New York. And then I later, a little after that, got to know Bricktop, who was like a nightclub impresario and a legend also in her own way. And I think they each had some influence, you know, not to mention, like, say, going to hear Bobby Short or even Frank Sinatra, you know. But I didn't get to meet Frank Sinatra. Recently somebody asked me, they wanted to hire me for a wedding, which they did, but they said, could you give us a list of the songs you know? And I was like, it's in the thousands. I really like all genres of music. Now, you're not going to hear me do heavy metal, you're not going to hear me do hip hop, you know. But there are some examples, I'm sure. I know there are with heavy metal, but I think even hip hop, there are some examples that I like of all genres. But of course, they don't all work for piano and voice or for me. I don't have like a set program. It depends on the ambiance of the room, the mood of the people, the requests, you know. And it's more fun for me to kind of go with that. It just varies so much, but that's, I think, half the fun of it. You know, I never get bored. Now, I have to say, like someone like Diane Carroll, it was just coincidence. She didn't come to hear me, but she made a point of complimenting me when she was leaving, which I thought was very nice. And I said to her, you know, you reminded me of Diane Carroll when you arrived. She said, I am Diane Carroll.
Love is for real, love is false. All of us seem to be caught in the waltz, turning around and turning again. When will the dancing ever end? As for us, you and me, our eyes are open, we can see. All others know just where we've been. Why must we both come dancing again?